Hello, my Cat Tarot friends. This is Cat, and this is like my introduction to the X spread, which we're going to actually look into today. So please, if you haven't been here before, or if you've forgotten why I'm doing this, just spend this couple of minutes to view it. If you are already familiar with it and you're following the series, check down in the description and you're going to see the link that you can click in and just move on to the reading for your sign. So what is this? Every sign is going to have exactly the same header. These are just the chapters. Just imagine like in a school, you have to write an essay and a teacher kind of gives you, well, these are the chapters you need to cover. I have developed this spread. I call it Cat Tarot Knows X spread, but I'm also applying this to relationships because for relationships and people who need to inquire, I will just remove the knight and I'll put a king. Also, if there are two women, I would put two queens or two kings or two knights, depending on who is the couple, who is the person inquiring. Since many of you who are listening this X spread ask me to do this reading for them, I'm actually putting it on a special, so check it out on my website www.cattarot.ca. under book your reading, just scroll it down to basically X spread. Also, if you are on and off relationship, this is going to be spread for you, because what it does, it gives me slices through the past, through present, that I can actually connect and check what might happen in the future. So why am I choosing these 7 cards? It kind of really, I spent lots of time getting to this, so it was not an easy process, but each of them is giving me a category that I want to figure out in order to figure out how your relationship works, and if can it work at all. Sometimes the most beautiful couplehoods just don't work out, and sometimes you see couples that you're wondering why they are together, and I think the 7 categories are going to explain that for me. So the very first significator, the Magician, in this category, I'm going to find out what are the tools you're given as a relationship. For example, if you're baking a bread, you need flour, you need salt, you need sugar, you need yeast, you need baking powder, I don't know, eggs, and then you can put extra ingredients. You can put raisins, you can put cinnamon, you can put seeds, right? So what if you only have water and bread? What if you have all the ingredients and you don't have water? So if an essential ingredient is missing, no amount of work is going to make this possible, right? So I'm actually trying to see here if this relationship was ever a starter. So the second card, Temperance, I am using that reversed purposely, because in the upright situation, Temperance is basically turning you into light. Everything can actually be made in this situation. Like there is a growth, there is a connectivity, and you see the angel is putting 2 different things together, just like 2 people have to come together. So when this usually comes in a reading and talks about moderation, balance, okay, the couple got together. The reason why I'm in this category looking in the reverse situation is because I do want to see what is unglued in this relationship, because that glue kind of sticks us together even if we have bad times. So these kind of like are categories that really have to be looked at if this is a starter. Now this is going to be one significator for one partner, and this is going to be a significator for another partner, and this is going to represent the energy and the communication and connection between the two. So how he sees you, how he sees himself, how she sees you, how she sees herself, right? And what's going on, what's kind of like attention, what's kind of expression, what kind of love is in between is going to kind of come in these categories. The Judgment is one of my 4 karma cards, and I really want to see here, okay, with all things given, how did you make that bread? How did you make it work up to this point? What is karma saying? Are you fulfilling the promise of this relationship? Is karma saying run? Is karma saying stay? Sometimes you get really surprising results, because sometimes the connection is karmic and people are supposed to kind of fulfill their contract and fulfill their destiny. And the very last category is very pragmatic category, and this is the one you want to know. Hey, are we getting together? Are we not getting together? Is there a next step for this relationship? What is the quality of this relationship? Keep in mind that sometimes I will tell you, yes guys, you will get together, but sooner or later you're going to run into different problems, and you have to work on that. So when you take a private reading with me, I kind of discover all of that. So let's jump into your own readings and let's go from there. Hi Aquarians, let's see what is October bringing in terms of like our partner and their feelings and their thoughts, etc. So let's jump right in and see what will be happening until October 10ish. So the partner that we had, some of us had, kind of like had a sneaky feeling in that. Kind of like, you know, when somebody tells you a certain thing and just like all of a sudden they just pull a rug under your feet, and even they blame it on you. And if you really want to be honest to yourself, you knew that, right? And they were just taking things that were just useful for them. It was kind of very kind of how to say it nicely, opportunistic, right? Where things would just serve them. They really didn't care much. In fact, they just wanted to see how much they can take out of it. And this usually happens to a person who doesn't trust themselves, because they feel they have to grab it because it's not going to be available. This is that feeling of impoverishment, feeling of not having self-esteem. So let's see, and this is just a past kind of like background that I'm just looking into this right now. So before we even get to the October, let's actually just check that. So what needed to be glued? Who had a family? Was somebody in a long-term relationship, or were you promised this long-term relationship? Maybe they did, and it just couldn't happen, or it didn't happen. Somebody maybe stepped in and it was like just save yourself kind of a situation. So how are you basically seen? Well, you have been seen as a marriage material, but also as a basically marriage breaker in some cases, right? Kind of like taking, maybe you're basically being seen as sneaky and, okay, you just like took advantage of me sort of a thing. Remember, there are always two sides of a story, right? The communication, whoa, was very tumultuous. It was lots of issues, right? Tower is just definitely talking about an unexpected event, and maybe this is a breakup that happened out of nowhere, right? Okay, let me clarify that. This is something that you know, it's happening, it should happen, it's going to happen, but you're just hoping it's not going to be. We are still going to continue. This foundation is still going to somehow be magically rebuilt, even though you kind of like knew that there are many issues over here, right? This is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. This is going back. These two cards are very linked, right? And it does basically happen when a breakup like this happens, and this is happening in the energy field between the two of you. It is talking about the energy that kind of is very destructive and that is no longer serving anybody. So it is only way you can do it is just to walk away. And when the Tower is reversed, it tells me that somebody's kind of feeling immobilized by the events. It's kind of really hard to move on. And as partner, they're kind of lost. They're not seeing vision. They don't see you anymore. It is kind of like but they don't see themselves either. It's not like directed toward us Aquarians. It is like just really where they really are. And what is karma saying? Again, karma is saying as well, it has been some kind of like occurrence and surprise. And I don't know, are you the guys who kind of called it off and said this is not built on a proper foundation? Or maybe you literally kind of like finish this relationship and just decide, okay, I need to save myself, because this card actually has one positive meaning, because you really don't know if this person is really sneaky, or this person really had to run away from it to kind of like save themselves, and that's why they're just taking whatever they can take. They're losing a part of themselves in it. Maybe this is what happened to you in this particular situation, because it just, look at this, 2 major arcanas, it was just too much. And look at this, the 10 and 9, the 10, just the new leaf just didn't happen, and hence it just reached its end. See, justice has been served. Maybe there were legalities involved into this. Maybe marriage has been offered to you. Kind of like this can be seen 2 ways. It can be seen that the marriage has been offered to you, but it looks like that there could be that you were with a married person as well, and that's maybe why this is showing up as 3. And they kind of like didn't want to really be in a 3 kind of like party situation, but something hasn't been tolerable to you. Like Hierophant talks about rules, it talks about agreeing to certain things. So it was obviously a feeling that you had clarification and understanding of certain issues, but just they look like they behave like they're oblivious to that agreement or these rules, and hence like certain things just like exploded. The whole foundation just like couldn't exist anymore. It's one of those core issues. We just cannot handle certain things, so we just kind of like finish them off. So now let's go into what is happening from now to, let's say, October the 10th. And these are walls, you know. Some of you guys went through, you know, feeling lost and feeling that, you know, this has been hurtful. And it's kind of like now the key issue is like, how do I protect myself? How do I protect what I'm left with? The truth is, like, when you're like, I mean, bent down like this and just walking away from a situation like this, it is like not the most helpful situation to heal. You just have to kind of open your arms and breathe in. That's kind of situation where kind of like this should be heading, but it's kind of still good from, okay, I need to kind of save myself, get myself to the clearance where I can breathe, and now, okay, I'm saved, I am alive, but oh my gosh, I just don't want to find myself in a situation like this. So let's see what needs to be glued. The healing is still not taking place. This is, guys, our card. It's Aquarian card. It talks about hopefulness, it talks about vision, it talks about the communication. So it looks like there is no communication here, and it's kind of hard to heal if you kind of like wall yourself in, right? This is the problem with this. You think you protected yourself from, you know, any environment. They're not going to hurt you because that's, you know, who you are. But the truth is, there is a pressure cooker happening already, and it is bubbling inside. So this is asking of you to kind of be able to open up, get a counseling, you know, get some kind of closure. Kind of like you have to start looking at the situation. And somehow you still don't see yourself as single. There is like still that connectivity, still kind of like feeling of like, see, this is 9. It's kind of didn't reach this full understanding of this kind of has to go in a new cycle. It is maybe still that some of us are thinking too highly of ourselves, and the Tower basically said, look, remove that pink glasses. Sometimes we see other people with pink glasses, but sometimes, and most of the times, we see ourselves much better than we really are. So this is asking to kind of really go deep. And when the healing really has to happen, why not to kind of like do this on the right foundations, right? It is moving on. So it's kind of like getting it. It's kind of clicking in. Okay, it's time. It's time. As far as them, it's a new cycle for them, right? And look, this is basically us, guys. This is Aquarius. The fixed signs are holding this Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is talking about balance, just like justice. Like, this is my second karma card over here. So this person has been really, really important. You know how we talk about soulmates? Well, they're karmic soulmates. And there is also soul contract. There is only one soul contract, what you basically assign to yourself. And there are many, many, many soulmates, and karmic soulmates are the ones who are going to kind of like really push you right back. And sometimes that push can be kind of harsh, and they're pushing you back in line because you need to accomplish your soul contract. So it's kind of like good. Check my readings for karmic soulmates, because it certainly tells you what is your contract and what kind of people will you attract. So that kind of, it gives you kind of clues and closures, and you kind of start seeing things from a completely different perspective. This is basically saying that this guy or this woman, you know, it's kind of going in a new phase. Maybe they have been feeling shocked with the situation themselves. Everybody was shocked here. We kind of like got a little bit fixed. We are fixed sign. We kind of like, these are my rules and it's going to be this way or no way, and we almost like feel like a victim here. But so do they. This is kind of a bad situation, but they're kind of coming to themselves and they're getting kind of balance and getting a grip. But look, Temperance reverse. The karma is saying, look, guys, this couldn't be made to work. This is not gluing. There are issues that is either not the right time, or it's not the right place, not the right person. The events didn't evolve, and things that happen, maybe both of you got surprised with what the other person served. It was like not the person kind of like we fell in love with. So this is saying this cannot be glued. But there is like still this hope that, you know, this love, this option is going to be on the table. This is maybe even possible that he this literally means like he'll feel lucky, but not in that sense. It's kind of like that he will still give it a try. So if nothing else, guys, take it from here that this person still has feelings for you. So let's see from the 11th to the 20th. You see, there is this nostalgia and feeling stuck, and the old kind of things that have worked. And look at this, like we have the swords, we have pentacles, now we have the cups. On all layers, this person obviously was really, really kind of like deep karmic connection with kind of like this deep integration. And it's kind of like romanticizing the past and forgetting all this crap that like that hit the fan kind of a thing. It's kind of like that is kind of important, because on one hand, okay, I need to move on. This is like sort of like your head, but your heart is still sitting there. So look at that. This needs to be glued. It kind of like was, okay, what do you want? Maybe these rules, how we wanted certain things to evolve, just were not the rules they wanted, and maybe they felt that we wanted something on top that could have been offered, and we on the other hand maybe felt like no matter what has been given, it's kind of like nothing was satisfying this person. So now we have yet another person over here that is protecting his heart, and they're fours are kind of building blocks, right? So this is falling in a category of what needs to be built. So see, this is kind of like it was a day-to-day kind of a thing. Oh my gosh, we cannot coexist on day-to-day things. I have to protect myself even at the smallest things. And here is like, oh my gosh, you know, like, I mean, I just don't even know what I can actually offer you. Like nothing works. So it could be that the person will contact you, and hence you're going to go into this nostalgia. But this nostalgia, unfortunately, is going to end up again feeling, I cannot make this work. It's just like, where do I go from here? But maybe this is just the validation that you need, and it's also, at the very least, knowledge that the person is still thinking about you, that you are important, and they also wondering why in the world this couldn't really be made to work. And ultimately, you are walking away. See, it was, as I said, in your head, and now it is in your heart. It's like, look at this emotional components, and for Aquarius to get to that level, it's the final stage, right? And yeah, look at this, Magician is coming here reverse. So it just kind of feels that no amount of talk, no amount what comes from this person would be accepted. And this is why there is this walking away, kind of feeling that the truth is not being told. That not only that the truth is not being told, but there is like some version of what they want, how they want it, in order to control the situation, so the situation kind of like would work out for them. And you're saying, look, you know, I have to figure out what really works for me. I do love you, and I have all these kind of feelings and memories, but oh my gosh, based on the past, and the past is the best predictor of the future, and we couldn't make it work in the past. So what is in it for me? And you see, if there is a discussion that takes place at some stage, there will be like fears, and they will be just really telling you that you are the one who kind of doesn't get it. You are the one who were the problem. It was just like, oh, you. And this is the very reason why you are just like feeling, okay, I just cannot be around here anymore, right? And look at him, like he's thinking he can have both ways, have his cake and eat it too, like be harsh, be manipulative, and then come and gallop again. See, like he is thinking about that, or she is. But look, again, this wonderful thing of a marriage just cannot happen, and there is like somebody hovering around him. Maybe to him some other love is offered, but look, they are like really not together. This also could actually mean that, remember how I told you that kind of could look like there is another person in here. I'm wondering if this person is divorcing, and you kind of like set your foot down and saying, look, you know, I'm not going to be a lover, or I mean a person is in a steady relationship of some kind. And this could also mean that, you know, this person can come back and say that this is being handled. And even if it is, what is telling me, like, I mean, there are 3 stages of breaking up with someone. One, or maybe more. First stage is understanding that you just tried your everything, right? And you're reaching that point, you turn every stone, you try to repair this relationship, it's not going anywhere. So you're basically telling a mate, well, we need to kind of like move on. So you're meeting a mate in this stage when somebody is ready, but there are memories, there are these glues that everybody has or doesn't have with this person, and like whether good or bad, there's like still things, the memory that keeps cropping up, right? So meeting somebody in the stage when they're kind of going through this tear and breakup, you're simply connected to that tear. And also you're asked to be a mother or nurturer in a situation that has nothing to do with you, and you should be also nurtured yourself. So it's just like setting the stage for a very, very wrong thing, and hence this is probably saying about the timing, and maybe they feel the timing is just like not there to offer you this love. So they go back and forth. Well, I want it, I don't want it. I'm strategizing. I want to kind of reach you, but then, you know, I would just tell you off and a whole bunch of things. No, I just really want to be, you know, the person who will wine you and dine you, but, you know, you're just not there. So it's somebody who is just like really, really at the stage still fighting their own demons. And let's see the last 10 days. Look, this is saying, guys, it just cannot continue. Look, the Tower came here and did that here. So, and this is also internal realization of, look, it was lots of suffering over here. It is time to transform. It is time to change. Nothing anymore can remain the same, and we kind of need to accept that kind of life evolves, and it is a time of transition, and things will be changing from one form to another. And this is asking to kind of allow this to happen for the highest good. So let go of the old. It is time to kind of like not even think about all these nostalgic feelings. The glue, yeah, this relationship, the potential just hasn't been tapped in. See, that kind of would have to start all over and on completely different principles and much healthier principles to even have a possibility or some kind of potential. Look at this karma card again. Well, it's kind of talking about some lies, and maybe we lied to ourselves. Maybe we gave ourselves a really nice, beautiful version of who we are, and it is really time to kind of like really cut things inside of us and kind of come to terms of where this could go and why didn't go. And remember, go right back into history. The things have been already happening, and not gluing. And this is like, I really feel that we are lying ourselves, but they also feel that you kind of like lie to them, and it's maybe the way they are going to try to suck you in. Oh, you created that for me. No, no relationship can actually continue on I'm a victim attitude, and we have that as very prevalent in our today's society. So just don't go in that hole, because that hole is guaranteeing you not to be happy. And that's when the tower shows up. It just tells you, just there's the earthquake. Are you sure you want to be in a hole? Because I'm going to cover you. You're never going to crawl out. So just ask yourself about that, because look at this. We are becoming Queen of Swords. That is, okay, I'm not lying myself about anything anymore. I am kind of getting this clarity. Queen of Swords always talks about kind of fairness. Queen of Swords is somebody who's been through quite a bit of things, as kind of obviously shows. And look, I would want this to work out, but I just cannot lie myself anymore. So I kind of have to move on. So look at this, reconfirmation. As far as them, they're still in delusion that they're like this beautiful person who is giving you so much of them. The truth is, they're giving you a painted picture of who they want to be. It's kind of like a Photoshop picture, you know. You kind of go on this dating site and there's a gorgeous, you know, woman or man, and then you meet them, and this is kind of like the same, but personality wise, telling you, yes, I want to marry you, I'll be the person, and yes, I'll listen to you until tomorrow, right? Just like the magician telling you certain things so you can kind of just maybe buy that, and then it's just going to hold until, you know, they're gone. Look at this. This is kind of showing this very transient energy, very kind of manipulative energy, and this is possibly why you actually are kind of deciding to move on. And karma is saying, yeah, there is this giving up. Look at this. Now we have like 3 times. Give up, give up, give up. Not serving you well anymore. Huh. Yes, the choice is going to be yours, Aquarius. And guess what? Let them deal with their own issues, because you have somebody else showing up. When you move on, when you kind of decide to kind of cut this, look at this, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, in your head, this complete kind of like moving on is getting you to something that is better suited. So hey, October is going to be healing. We need to kind of turn this around, but it's also going to start knocking on the door with a new opportunity. Guys, this is a general reading. If you want your own, this is on a special for $50. So contact me via my website, www.cattarot.ca. Also, your comments are always so welcome. You know that I read them all. And lastly, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, and share. And come and visit me on my Facebook, where I kind of give a little bit more information about my strategies in life. And Aquarius, yes, I'll be working on monthlies until the end of the month. So I really, really hope, you know, that things will work out. And this is really, really hopeful. We didn't have a good time recently. And even though this kind of can be scary, I think it's very positive. only Aquarians and only Scorpios can really handle. But look at this, ace and ace, transformation, ace and a new thing, moving. It is time to let this bad energy pass so we can open the new pathways. Really, really good card moving forward. Talk to you soon, Aquas. Love you.